Good morning, friends. Good morning. Wow, it's good to see everybody. We're still settling down here. We'll have people join us. So we're thinking, even though the church is currently filling up, we're thinking there's a bunch of you online today because it's 3 degrees outside and snowing. It's really terrible. Oh, it's awesome. It's beautiful and awesome. Robert made sure that I said it was 3 degrees Fahrenheit, other than the other options I was thinking of that started with F. He was really insistent to make sure that I didn't say anything besides Fahrenheit. So there we are. It's 3 degrees Fahrenheit out there, friends. Yeah, and if it was Celsius, it'd be warmer. So anyway, good morning, Unity of Fort Collins. We have a really special day today. Our own and beloved Franklin is back. Yay! And Franklin, if you weren't here, I'm pretty sure there would be more online. And our own Nancy Hughes. Nancy is such a gift to us. The kinds of things that she has to share and talk about are just so fabulous. So Nancy has been preparing her gift for us this morning, and I'm so glad there's a whole crew of us to enjoy it. Couple of announcements today. We've got music leader candidates going to be with us for the month of February. So get ready, friends. We've got a variety of folks for you to take a look at and listen to and help us think through who's best for our community. There's a new class that will be starting on Thursday, February 2nd from 1 to 2 via Zoom, and it will be a discussion of the Mastery of Self by Don Miguel Ruiz, and Jim will be leading the class. Youth program is growing, woohoo! So we need more loving adults to join us with the youth and family program. If you, so sorry. Volunteering just takes about a commitment a month. So it's super fun. The kids love having the adults join them. They're super excited. I think we have a miss on that sometimes where the adults are fearful that the kids won't be interested or that it'll be hard to connect with them or those kinds of things. And it's really not true. The kids love having the adults. Thank you, you brought me water. So if you're interested in joining with the Youth and Family Program, let Denise or Stacy know about a commitment a month. We have an opening for a new council member. Katie Dockery served a 2-year term. She's moved, and commuting from Berthoud is hard for her. So we've got one opening on the council. We'll select that person at the annual meeting. If anyone's interested, please let our nominating committee know, Gerald or Mike Haas. We'd love to have you join us. Speaking of annual meeting, it will be held Sunday, February 19th after the service. So it's our chance to showcase our accomplishments. And will be shown in the team format. So we'll be excited to have our team showcase what we've been doing. All right. Lil, come do your announcements.
I just have a couple announcements from the Social Connection Committee. This Friday night, the 3rd of February, we are going to have a double feature. They're not really long. One of them's called Musical Chairs, which is just a really short one. And then the other one is Mystic India, which is has been on IMAX in the past. And it's really colorful, alive, vibrant, and I think you'll enjoy it. The other announcement is for the Social Connections team, we were recommended to have a bulletin board, a communication board where people can put up different activities that they want to have somebody join them in. Like somebody wants to go on a hike, can you go on a hike with me today? Or this is happening or that's happening. That can be posted and will be kept current. And we need to have maybe a couple volunteers that might want to help make that happen. We come up with ideas, you help make us make it happen. So if somebody's interested in doing that, or a couple people, it's a short-term type thing for making it, and then just maintenance, just checking it out periodically. Thank you.
Thanks, social team. Yay. So our welcome committee likes to put welcome packets, information packets, in the hands of newcomers. So if anybody's joining us here today, if you'd put your hand up, you will find a welcome packet that lands in your hand. Anybody? All right. Thank you so much. Let's do our unity centering blessing together. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world. Thank you.
Richard, can I have you turn the guitar channel off? I have to do some maintenance. So way back in high school, I learned a trick that if you wanted more stage time, you needed to have something to do on stage before you started playing. That's what I'm doing now. I'm just hogging the stage. Still works, doesn't it? All right, Richard, let's turn it back on and see if it works. I love it when a plan comes together. And just to make it more interesting, I'll tune for you. Sure everything's all straightened out. I think I'm ready. It is really, really, really fine to be back here. I don't recognize the place, though. This is a whole new room. Hey, Sharon. And there's a lot on my mind that has to do with the theme of this morning. And I was struck when I read what Nancy was going to be sharing a little bit, that for me, things like hope and joy and peace and happiness have been glimpsed but never sustained. And so one of the things that I wanted to share with you is a song that I wrote. I started writing this song probably, it was before Bodhi was born, and he's 17 now. So it's an old song, but I only finished it last year. So one more other thing is I can probably get my music stand put together and get my words. So that'll be another minute. Oh, there we go. Now, I'm really hopeful that my glasses work. in between, before Bodhi was born, about 2 years before Bodhi was born, we had a daughter named Sarah. And Sarah was born with some severe challenges and died. And I was just kind of wandering until we found out that we were pregnant with Bodhi, and then I had to get my stuff together. But during that time, I was a smoker. And I would go out on the front porch of our house in Silver Spring, Maryland, and smoke and think and stew. Well, this is something that happened one of those days that I was out smoking, thinking, and stewing. A little gray bird flew in my yard. I was feeling blue and caught off guard. She flitted and whistled a song or two. For a minute my mind was off of you. She cocked her head and she sang some more. I felt sure she knew what for. I smiled for the first time in days. She flipped her tail and she flew away. Come back, little gray bird. I won't move a muscle or say a word. I'll do anything if you'll only sing your song for me. I only want to know how happy a man can be. The next day she was back again. Seemed to know I needed a friend. I held as still can be. Opened my heart as she sang to me. Come back, little gray bird. I won't move a muscle or say a word. I'll do anything if you'll only sing your song for me. I only want to know how happy a man can be. Happiness comes and happiness goes. Where happiness lives, no one knows. Little gray birds don't stay for long, but I smile every time I remember her song. A little gray bird flew in my yard. I was feeling blue and caught off guard. She flitted and whistled a song or two. For a minute my mind was off of you. Come back, little gray bird. I won't move a muscle or say a word. I'll do anything if you'll only sing your song for me. I only want to know how happy. Yeah, I just want to know how happy. I only want to know how happy a man can be. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, thank you. I'm not doing the reading.
It's a flannel shirt kind of day for some of us. So this is from Poems for the Path by Jennifer Pine Wellwood. Nancy asked me to read this poem today. It's called The Dakini Speaks. My friends, let's grow up. Let's stop pretending we don't know the deal here. Or if we truly haven't noticed, let's wake up and notice. Look, everything that can be lost will be lost. It's simple. How could we have missed it for so long? Let's grieve our losses fully, like ripe human beings. But please, let's not be so shocked by them. Let's not act so betrayed, as though life had broken her secret promise to us. Impermanence is life's only promise to us, and she keeps it with ruthless impeccability. To a child, she seems cruel, but she is only wild, and her compassion exquisitely precise, brilliantly penetrating, luminous with truth. She strips away the unreal to show us the real. This is the true ride. Let's give ourselves to it. Let's stop making deals for a safe passage. There isn't one anyway, and the cost is too high. We are not children anymore. The true human adult gives everything for what cannot be lost. Let's dance the wild dance of no hope.
I'd like to tune my guitar again for you. It seems odd that it's been almost 3 years since I was here to do music on a Sunday. But boy, has that time gone by. And I was reflecting this morning, thinking about that it feels familiar, but it's kind of like a shirt that doesn't fit anymore. And it's like, I still love this shirt, but I can't wear it. And I was going through the songs yesterday, and I was going, do I remember? I'm hoping that I remember. But I wanted to do one song that would kind of take us back to when I was here. And it's one of my favorites that we used to sing together. And it felt apropos for the theme of the morning. So here we go. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Woke up this morning, smile with the rising sun. The three little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, every little thing gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. And we'll do the same one that we did before. Woke up this morning, smile with the rising sun. The three little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, a melody pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Let's just keep going on that. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. One more. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah, now.
Well, good morning. Wow, it did fill up much more than I realized. That's cool. Yay. You got the first glimpse of it there. That's great. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you came out this morning. Hello, sweet girl. So glad you came out this morning and you bore the 3-degree weather to get out and do this. It's really great. How did you like? Well, the music was wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the reading, Leanne, thank you. You read that beautifully. How'd you guys like that? Isn't that a really, really neat poem? I love that. It's harsh. It's hard. The first couple of times I read it, I went, ooh. And it's funny because I went on Jennifer Wellwood's site, her website. And on her website, she reads another line at the bottom. And I thought, ooh, she softened the blow. Somebody must have complained. But I decided not to add that line to it. I think it's perfect the way it is. So that was great. She's not playing any games, is she? She's serious about her study. She's serious about her work. And as I said, the first time I read it, I was uncomfortable. I really was. It was harsh. It was uncommonly brash. But then when I reread it, I became more and more comfortable with it because I really like the courage. I love the courage that she's portraying in that poem. Truth is uncomfortable sometimes. It can be very uncomfortable. But it forces us to come out of our hiding. Is the reason it's uncomfortable for us is because we can no longer hide behind our images and what we think we are and who we think we are. And everything has been exposed. That's not a real comfortable place to be. It is not. And as we all know, life is not for wimps. And if we live long enough, which I'm getting there, we can see and experience so many things. Some are wonderful, some are loving, some are amazing, some are brutal, some are unkind. But are they really brutal and are they really unkind? Or is it simply where we are and how we're choosing to see it because of our experiences? We set these preferences up, don't we? Ooh, that's not good. That's great. I love that. Oh, she was mean. Oh, but that worked well for me. All based on our preferences in life. Sometimes I think we make the mistake of thinking that life is supposed to be an easy ride. Mm-mm. It's not. Oh, I forgot. I'm doing slide projector today. Yes. Can you relate? How do you like those heels? Isn't that cool? That's how we can feel sometimes. It can definitely make us feel like we are hanging on for dear life. We're standing on this tightrope, trying our best to balance everything. We don't dare look down. You certainly don't dare look back. So what direction do you have to go? Straight ahead. And that's all we have to do, isn't it? We can't look back. We don't look down. We just keep going, and we keep going straight ahead. My favorite line in Jennifer's poem is, "The true human adult gives everything for what cannot be lost." I like that. I like that a lot. But then I had to ask myself, is that the cost for spirituality? Is that what I signed up for? I'm not too sure. I was pretty young at the time, and I had no idea what I was getting into, trust me. But now, knowing what I know now, would I have chosen differently? No, never. You know, because you reach that point and you know you got to do something. You know you've got to do something different in your life. And that's where I was. That's where most of us probably were. I have also learned that our purpose is not to bring comfort, but to bring truth. That's not always going to be comfortable, as we've been talking about. So, you know, and it was funny because it took me probably a couple of weeks to figure out if I felt comfortable enough having that poem read this morning, because there's going to be mixed reviews on that, you know, and I don't want to tick anybody off so much they never come back, you know, so, but it took me a little while to get comfortable enough with myself with doing it. But bringing truth is not always an easy task. And I was thinking, I kind of remember being burned at the stake one time for that. So it doesn't work real well. All right. And I'm sure that Jennifer Wellwood got the memo on the idea of truth. Anyway, so what is the ultimate cost? My teacher always said that we had to give up all persons, all places, all things. Well, I was a 25-year-old kid. I had really no clue what I was doing. And that sounded pretty overwhelming to me, and rightly so. How would I even go about doing that? How would I even get started with it? Good grief. But then I thought, I could probably start with a family member. That would work. Get rid of it. Anyway, I'm being ugly. I'm sorry, the ugly's coming out. The obvious answer, which I was totally oblivious to at the time, was that we must give up all attachments. So what does that mean? It meant for me that I had to open myself up, and I had to expose my attempt at clinging to my present understanding of identity with everything. It's not an easy task for a girl with self-control issues. It's not. I was famous in my small group for clinging, and what I wasn't clinging to, I was pushing away and resisting. So that's not a real happy place to be. All of that had to go too. I had to wipe it all out. What the heck? My things were not material objects as much as they were emotional things for me. You can't believe how much you hold on to until you finally get it exposed. You make yourself a prisoner. Gertrude said this, and I'll quote him later, but you make yourself a prisoner within your own home. But it's that unquenchable thirst that we don't understand, and we keep trying to satisfy it, don't we? Don't we keep trying to satisfy that need, that itch or that thirst or whatever it is? But what we wind up doing is burying ourselves deeper, thus becoming more and more unhappy, more and more afraid, and buying the stores out of mint chocolate chip ice cream. Gurdjieff, a Russian mystic, as I was saying a moment ago, says that we live in a prison. And the only way out is to first recognize that's where we are. We can't do anything about it if we don't see that that's where we are. That's the only place that we can start. It sounds easy enough, but we fail to see that not only did we create the prison, but that we are, in fact, the prisoner, we're the guard, and we're the only one that has the dang key. And yet we're still keeping ourselves inside of it. Jennifer talks about dancing with the wild dance of no hope. This is a really, really powerful spiritual point, growth point, that you can get smacked right between the eyes with. It's a point where we get so lost in our mind game, in our identity crisis, that none of our usual resources can help us escape. We can't think our way through it. We can't emotionally bully our way through it. The only way through it is to simply walk through it, if we're brave enough to do that. But when we do that, and the facade begins to crack a little bit, we can go deeper, and we can go deeper, and we can expose the lies to the truth and come out ahead for sure. This can be a very revealing moment, but a lot of people are not able to make this step. It's a tough one. My brother couldn't do it. My brother could not do the inner work. It was too much exposure, and it was way too frightening for him. He constantly told me that I was losing my mind. I just smiled and said, I hope so. I've been working pretty hard on it. Oops. Yes, there we go. No, I went back. Sorry. I don't do this well, do I? Let me see if the hope is up there first. No. Yes, there it is. Okay. Let's look at some definitions of hope. This is actually supposed to be about transformation of hope. Hope, a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. Grounds for feeling that something good may happen. That's kind of a nice feely, touchy-feely thing, isn't it? Hope's a good thing, but how strong is it? How much are you going to bet on it? Hope it might. Who knows? All right. So we'll look at that in just a second. Now let's look at the word hopeful. An adjective, feeling or inspiring optimism about a future thing. A noun, a person likely or hoping to succeed. There's a good chance, but you never know. All right. And then the last one, hope against hope. And this is the one, I guess, when you're talking with people, this is the one I hear so much. Clinging to a mere possibility. We do that so much. Just cling to that idea or cling to that something that we think is so important that we want. About this time, I'm beginning to think, why the heck did I call this transformation of hope? Looking at the definitions, it makes me question if hope is really a part of the transformation process. I don't know. The word offers encouragement, inspiration, comfort. We've said all that. I hope I'm on the right path. I hope that things work out for me. I hope. This is what hope looks like. Our little monkey mind. Oh. That constant chatter, that constant telling us what we're supposed to see it, how we're supposed to see it, how we're supposed to feel about it, what we do, we believe about it, constantly in our ear. I hope I can find a job. Oh my God, I hope I win the lottery. I really really need that 2 million. You know, it's meant with earnest desire. It really is. But its strength, yeah, a little wavering, a little unstable there. Because what's going to happen on the flip side? What's going to happen when I don't get that job? When I don't win that 2 million? Oh, actually, I said 30 million. I'm upping it. All right. What's going to happen then? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blame it on Claire. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I would have had that 30 million. I was even willing to share it with her. Good grief. Well, that's what we do. We find something to blame it on, or someone to blame it on, or some excuse for why it didn't work. So where does that leave us? Do we want to go all the way back to the tightrope? That's where it leads us. Back to that thin line of walking and trying to make sure that we can get this all done. What we try to do is we try to get behind and find the true fear. Because all of our needs are truly based in a fear. Do you get that? You get that? I need a job. Okay, you need a job. Now, do you really need a job, or is it that you are wishing to have more money, make more money? Does it require a job to do that? So you've got to get to the true inner point of the quest and find out what that is before you can tackle it, really tackle it, and really do it justice. Because I'm still too based in my need as being something outside of me, well, I really messed that one up. Okay. Take a moment, yeah. Well, the looking back behind the fear can be done at the level of hope, but not as effectively as it can be done in a transformation process. Because it's always going to be something outside of me. I don't think we can ever get inside with hope, because it leaves that iffiness, and there is no iffiness in the solidness of our spiritual being. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that at all? Okay. All right. Let's transform then that idea of hope to a higher consciousness of ourselves. Let's transform it to knowing. Let's transform it to wisdom. Those things we can work with in a higher level. I've had the privilege of working with Reverend Sharon and the prayer chaplain team for the past year. I chose to do this because I knew that it would be absolutely one of the most challenging things I could possibly do. One, I hate talking on the phone. Two, I hate talking about prayer. And I'm going to explain that one to you. The reason prayer just still kind of like gnaws at me a little bit is because of old teaching. I absolutely cannot even begin to think of trying to reach to a God outside of me, searching and bequesting for something. Does that make sense to you too? Okay. So I really had to work with this idea of being a prayer partner, but I knew I'd get there, and I knew I'd do better. The process takes me out of my comfort zone, and it slaps me around a little bit. But while I'm becoming more comfortable, I still find it a challenge, but it is definitely proving to be transformational for me. In working with affirmative prayer, which is what we do, we're working with axiomatic laws. Axiomatic laws of the universe. No, we went too far, Nancy. Not there either. Right here. Axioms are a statement or proposition that is regarded as being established, accepted, or evidently true. That's a little stronger than hoping. You think so? Absolutely, absolutely. I can sink my teeth into this one and feel good about it. In working with affirmative prayer, we work with axioms and axiomatic law. You can't get much higher than that. Axioms, as it says, are self-evident truths. They're solid. They're unwavering. To me, it's like having modeling clay in my hands and watching it shape and just watching it manifest on its own. I really don't have to do anything. I just have to think about the axiom, for me anyway. In axiomatic study, you do your work and then you get out of the way. It's not a matter of following up behind it. You get it and you let go of it and you allow it to do what it does. And it changes vibration. It changes your life. It can. What do I actually mean? Well, we saw the definition, and the best that we have at this level of consciousness to try to label and define it is that it's this indescribable beauty and expansiveness in this amazing, amazing universe. Just think about it. We're living on a large planet in outer space. We're flying around, spinning around in outer space. What the hell are we afraid of? I mean, that in itself is pretty frightening, isn't it? Jeepers creepers. Wow. The same laws that govern and keep that going are the ones that keep this going. Try getting your heart to pump and breathing and thinking of your body systems and all of these things at one time. That's impossible. And yet it does it so effortlessly, so beautifully and so effortlessly. How amazing it is. And the production of a child just completely blows my mind. Which comes first, the toe or the eye? Would I know? My kid would wind up being really screwed up if I was in charge of it. One of the things, life is amazing, and we get to experience, and we are the lucky ones that we get to do that. One of the things that I love about this community so very much is the desire to be a strong part of a larger community in Fort Collins. And we give of ourselves, and we grow, and we grow, and I love it. I started my studying about 45 years ago, and I've really been blessed with the process. If I were to point out one thing that's impressed me the most in all of my years, I would have to say that it's putting my full attention on what's on the plate in front of me now. Don't get caught up in all the junk that's around. Don't get caught up in all the mind chatter of, but you know you can't do it. You know you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, come on. You think you can speak? Really? And we all have those things. We all have that stuff going in our heads. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything special because life is my teacher at this very moment. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to even read a book. Life is going to teach you everything you need to know now, right this minute. A big concern and a big question is, how do we help other people? We're very much a group of givers. We really are. We see the need so much in our world. And the answer is by not reinforcing the drama. That's our job. We're not here to save anybody. We can't get them out of suffering or anything. Not really. That's going to be their choice. But what we can do is we can refuse to reinforce the drama. And by doing that, you become an environment that gives space for change. You allow them to change on their own. All you've done is just open up a little bit of a door if they choose to walk through it. Then they can have the opportunity to see the oneness. This is coming from Ram Dass. I love Ram Dass. So funny, so funny. He was so funny. You do not have a moral right to try to take away someone's suffering. Hearing me? You have a moral obligation to create an environment where others can let go of their suffering if they wish. And you have a moral right to not create conditions that impose suffering. That's what we're here to do. That's it. That's our relationship with each other. That's the transformation. Another thing that Ram Dass says is, if I can remember this, I didn't write it down. If I can remember, he was talking about how he thought he wanted to just gain this spiritual height, this spiritual knowledge, and all this spiritual awareness, and get really high. And he said what he found out, that the truth of life is, it's not about being high. It's about the free fall and the freedom from all of the crap that we put in ourselves and all of our belief system. Okay? Namaste.
So I'm going to put my capo on and retune my guitar before we do our thoughts, our prayers. I mentioned that it felt like a shirt that didn't fit. And one of the reasons that it feels that way is that I actually retired from performing in August. And this is the first time that I've played in public since then. So my fingers are, yeah. My fingers are finding their way to strange places that they have been before, but they don't recognize. What I'm going to just offer right now is that if I make a mistake, keep singing. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is everywhere. And every thought's indeed a prayer.
Thank you, Brian. We're going to have some background music this morning with meditation. Just want you to get comfortable. What we're going to do this morning, we're going to start off with just some breathing. I want you to pay close attention to your breath. Feel your tummy rising and falling. And focus just on that right now. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it right back and focus on your breathing. to say some axioms. And I want you to just listen to the word, and repeat the word if you like, and pay attention to how it is affecting you in your body. Life. Principle. Love. Truth. Spirit. Compassion. And let's go back to life. Feel that in your body. Life is all you are. It is your whole makeup. Every single fiber of your beingness is life. We come from the void. We are the void in material form. 99% of your DNA is shared by everybody else. You even have the DNA that you share with slugs. You are beauty. You are love. You can open your eyes whenever you feel.
May the blessings of God rest upon me. May God's peace abide in me. May God's presence illuminate my heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God's peace abide in you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon us. May God's peace abide in us. May God's presence illuminate our hearts now and forevermore. Now and forevermore.
So now it's your turn. We come to that place in our service where we give from our hearts, give as we've been blessed. And one of Nancy's axioms, I'm sure, is as we give, so we'll receive. So as the ushers come forward, I ask you to think about how you're feeling right now. Do I give out of the blessings and abundance of my life? And if you feel a little bit of fear coming up, Don't create fear. And so together, let's bless our offering. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
I had a lot of conversations recently with people talking about how can we change things. Those of you who remember me probably have heard this song at least 100 times. But this is my answer to that question. Five o'clock news and didn't offer any hope today. There were incidents, accidents, and talking heads with nothing to say. In times like these, it's easy to feel kind of small. Pray for a miracle and miss the greatest miracle of all. Little acts of love change the world. Little acts of love change the world. From hand to hand and heart to heart, I'll give my best and do my part. And little acts of love will change the world. Doesn't take much to put a smile on the face of a child. An hour of my time can keep a young one from going wild. And, well, wait a minute. You keep singing, I'll... There are mouths to feed and lonely people looking for a friend. If you don't know where to start, home is the place to begin. Little acts of love change the world. Little acts of love change the world. From hand to hand and heart to heart, give your best and do your part. And little acts of love will change the world. 30 years from now, what kind of world will we see? Or will we learn to live together and create a lasting peace? Or do we think that the way it is the way it has to stay? Or will we realize the power in every little choice we make today? Little acts of love change the world. Little acts of love change the world. From hand to hand and heart to heart, let's give our best and do our part. And little acts of love will change the world. Little acts of love will change the world. Little acts of love will change the world. Hey, thank you.
Franklin, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, it's wonderful to be here.
One big act of love coming out here at 3 degrees on a Sunday morning and singing to us. Thank you.
I've been
Thank
here when
you.
it was colder.
Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, I'd like to recognize someone else. Brian Young has spent 2 months with us as our musician. So thank you, Brian, for your love and your active love. So that's it for today, isn't it? If you're a visitor with us, we still have a couple of visitor packages left. So raise your hand and let our team give those to you. And how about our children? Is there some kids back there that are going to come forward?
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Okay, do one of you have something to say to us today?
He talked about prayer, and today we talked about prayer, and we kind of did musical chairs.
Well, thank you. So you kids can go and find your parents, all right? And one more thing I have to say, I want to thank Nancy Hughes for her talk today. Sharon and I are so blessed to be part of a community where individuals get up and share their spiritual stories. So thank you, Nancy, for doing that. And thank you. Next week it's Courtney, right? So we're looking forward to that. And many of the rest of you have shared your stories, so thank you. So let's go ahead and circle up as we close our service today. And just grab hold of one of those warm hands next to you and so together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.